Hi, I just wanted to do a fairly quick, well, obviously not super professional review of these Vevor slush machines. Um, when I was looking at buying these machines for my wife, there wasn't I didn't really find very good reviews and good information out there. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents. So as you can see, I bought the 1 x 6 liter machine here, and then I also bought the 2 x 3 liter machines. So I guess the first thing I just want to talk about is capacity. So this guy here is a 6 liter. Now that is 6 liters of slush, not 6 liters of liquid. Just based on what I had seen using it, and we've been using these machines for just over a month now, is that it's pretty much closer to 3.5 to say 4 liters of max capacity. You can even see there's that max line right there, and I think the 6 liters would be straight up to the top. And on this guy, so each side is supposed to be I guess 3 liters, and that's the actual max fill line right there. And just like when we were making Slurpees and stuff for the kids, we found that about 1.4 1.3 liters is a good amount of liquid to put in. They both do kind of have a minimum operating volume, and I would say you really need to get pretty close to the top of this metallic cylinder, which is actually what does the refrigeration. Which for this guy is around about 1.2 liters as a minimum, and I'd say for this guy it's closer to I'd say maybe 2 liters as a minimum. So the next thing, I guess we'll talk about sort of build quality. So this guy here, he is much better as far as components and quality, and easier to take apart for cleaning. So one way you can clean is just using water and flushing it multiple times, but sometimes if you're doing something that has some pulp in it, it really needs a bit more of a thorough clean. And so this guy actually comes apart fairly easily. You can just take these screws off, and this whole plastic assembly comes off, and this little rubber gasket comes off fairly easily. And I was able to get it together again fairly easily without too much trouble. There is a direction, a preferred direction for this gasket, so just be aware of that when you're putting it back together. But to contrast that, this guy, taking this off from the gasket is an absolute nightmare. I only did it one time, and I'm hopefully never going to have to do it again. I'm always worried that the whole thing's going to crack. This whole tub is going to crack when I put it back together, so I'm really trying to avoid doing that. And like the way you can see on this guy, right, it has these nuts, or sorry, these screws with a nice finger nut on it that you can very easily take off and put back on, and it'll compress this whole assembly against the gasket. But here on this guy, it's just this little foot on that plastic thing, so it really is pretty difficult to get that back in. So yeah, that's one thing. The other thing is this guy comes in a big wooden crate, packed really nicely. This guy was just cardboard. As far as other quality issues, I'd say one thing that was a bit of an issue was this screw actually was totally off when we received the unit. So I had to take the whole thing apart and tighten it back on, and it actually was like counterclockwise to tighten, which is kind of odd. Yeah, and you can see just overall build quality isn't as high. Like even just like little screws like that not quite being driven in correctly and kind of off at an angle. That's one issue. Um, these drip trays are incredibly flimsy. I would not risk putting any drink on here whatsoever. It's definitely going to break if you put a full glass on here. Yeah, just do not put cups on there or any sort of weight. Whereas this guy, he's a little more sturdy, but I wouldn't put a lot of weight on this part either. But yeah. Anyways, moving into quality, or continuing with quality, but we'll talk about kind of controls. So you can see on this guy, it's pretty easy, intuitive. You know, you can just change the modes. I can just fire this up really quick. You can easily just kind of scroll through the modes. A little bit louder overall, but let's see if the menu comes up here. Power. And you can just easily just change through the modes. You know, you can change the RPM. You can also change the temperature directly, what you want to set it at. So like cocktail, for example, you can have it set to -10 degrees. And yeah, very, very intuitive controls. I'd say I much prefer the controls on this guy. Whereas this one, so there's other weird things with this guy. So you can see that scrolling through bowl 1, bowl 2, and then it has this mysterious blue dot there. This control setup, I think, is actually the same control setup as if you had a 3-bowl model. So kind of odd, but I can see why they would do that, just to keep costs down. Yeah, like it's a little less intuitive. You have to go bowl, and then this changes the mode, so off, slush, and then there's different levels of slush, which kind of controls the temperature. Juice, again, you can control the temperature with juice. This is a cleaning mode, and then just off. Yeah, and then you can do the same thing with just selecting bowl 2. So, the other thing that I find a little odd with this guy is I've noticed if I try to use both bowls at the same time in slush or juice mode, it only cools one side at a time. So, for example, if I have them both set to slush, it will cool this guy for, I don't know, like 2 to 3 minutes, and then it'll switch over to this guy, and then it'll start cooling this guy for 2 to 3 minutes, and it just keeps kind of duty cycling between both of them. So I think there's just one condenser in this unit, which would probably explain why the 2-bowl version is cheaper than buying 2 single bowls. So it does, if you're using both bowls, it does take quite a lot longer to reach the temperature that you want. Than say like this unit. Say this unit, it gets very cold very fast. If we're having a big party, I much prefer to use this guy. But you know, if I'm just trying to make a drink for my wife and myself, the minimum is probably a little bit too much for just us. So it's easier to kind of go back to this guy. They both units will get to -10 degrees Celsius, which is really good for doing cocktails. I find if whatever mixture that you've made up, if it's around 7 to 8% alcohol, you need to get it to about -6 degrees Celsius. -10 is definitely preferred for like a Bellini. And also along the same kind of topic, you have to make sure there's definitely enough sugar content to what you're mixing, otherwise it's not going to turn out well at all. Another question that I originally had that I wanted an answer with was, can I just like put any sort of soda in here and just have it turn into a Slurpee or slush or whatever? And the answer is yes, but I find it's not quite as sweet as, say, like a slush from Max or 7-Eleven or in one of those other places. So you'd have to maybe make it a little more sweet by adding a little more sugar or syrup. The other advantage with this bigger unit too is it's rated for doing dairy products. So like ice creams or soft serve. but to this date I still haven't done that. Yeah, overall, both machines I'd say were a pretty good buy. Again, I think I would recommend the larger unit if you were doing this, more of a commercial bar. But, for home use, these small guys are pretty good. I mean, two small kids can easily go through one side of slush, no problem, right? Because 2 liters of slush for a couple kids is perfect. The other thing we've been doing, like we bought a bunch of Coke syrup or cola syrup, and kind of using that and then mixing in some of these flavors like, vanilla or cherry or strawberry or like amaretto, right? Just to kind of give it like a cherry Coke flavor or a vanilla Coke flavor. Yeah. Anyway, this has been my quick little review. So far, yeah, pretty happy, and yeah, I'll probably post again in a couple months if something changes. That's it. Thank you.